many that the emotions and actions that occur in our everyday lives are linked to what happens in the night sky.
Lunar expert Kirsty Gallagher believes that the cycles of the moon hold the key to our health, happiness, and even wealth. And Kirsty joins us now to explain. Lovely to talk to
Morning,
you. Thank
Kirsty.
you for joining us. Your book, Lunar Living. It's not science and it's not astrology. So what is it?
It's a guide as to how we can bring the ancient wisdom and guidance of the moon back into our everyday lives again. And so there are elements of astrology in there, but I wanted to make it really simple so that anyone and everyone could follow and benefit from this.
So just explain then, what does the moon do? How does it affect us?
So the moon affects us emotionally. Just as the moon turns the tides, the moons will have that same pull on the watery inner world of our emotions and our dreams. And what the moon most of all helps us to do is to stay accountable in life. We've made life really linear, expecting things to be the same all day, every day. And it's just not the way it is. All around us, nature moves in rhythms and in cycles. And so working back in line with that ancient cycle helps us to stay accountable and to create things and to release things and to be ever changing and constantly moving towards what we want.
So our day-to-day lives, what's the moon done for me today?
The moon at the moment is in the dark moon phase, but we're moving into a new moon tomorrow morning at 3:26 a.m. UK time. And so this is the lowest energy point and the most emotional part of the lunar cycle, where we get to really tune inwards into how we're feeling, where we are at the moment in our lives. And then tomorrow or tonight, under the new moon, we then set our intentions and decide on what it is that we want for the next lunar cycle.
Okay, so a lunar cycle is what? Just explain what that is.
So a lunar cycle takes 29 and a half days. It takes 29 and a half days for the moon to go full from new to new. And so we begin with a new moon, which is the very beginning of the lunar cycle, which is what happens tomorrow morning. And then the moon goes through 8 different phases, all the way through waxing up to a full moon, wanes back down again into a new moon. And this whole cycle takes 29 and a half days.
And so, right, okay, there are these eight stages. I'm assuming that all 8 are probably important. But we'll run through principally some of them. Dark moon. So that's the one we're in at the moment.
Dark moon, the very, very end of the waning moon, so the waning crescent moon, when the moon's not new, but it's barely visible in the sky. So it's the most emotional part of the lunar cycle. It's the lowest energy part of the cycle. And it's where we really tune in and self-care, come back to ourselves, check in with where we are currently in our lives. The next most important phase, and what I suggest people to work with if they're just beginning this work, then is the new moon. And so on the new moon, we take what we learned in the dark moon phase about what our emotions were signposting us towards, what it was that we were kind of figuring out was or wasn't working, and we decide what we do want. So on the new moon, we set our intentions. As the moon then waxes and grows bigger and bigger in the sky every night, we get to the next, probably most important phase, is the first quarter phase of the moon. And that's when we see half the moon illuminated in the sky. And as the moon waxes and grows in energy and brightness, our energy levels grow, our motivation grows, our inspiration grows. And it's almost as though the moon is shining a light and highlighting for us a direction to go in. And so the first quarter phase is the time of the cycle where synchronicities happen. It's the time to say yes to everything and follow all the signs. It feels like everything starts to fall together and come together. And then we get the full moon. And the full moon, we've probably all seen a beautiful full moon in the sky. We've had quite a few really beautiful ones lately. And the full moon is that moment then of completion, where we celebrate what we've achieved. And we also get this big full moon light shining on where did we get to, what didn't we achieve, what did we allow to stand in the way, where did we fall off track, where did we doubt ourselves. And then as the moon then wanes and grows smaller in the sky, this is the time of the cycle then we work on releasing the things we don't need, on whether that is the self-doubt, whether it is people, situations, relationships, whatever it is that we feel stands in our way. This is where we start to let go. So then we get the last quarter moon, which is again the next most important, which is where the moon again is half full. And this is where we start to really culminate in that big release, and it's like a clear out of anything we don't need. And then we come back down into that dark moon phase again to recheck in and recalibrate and decide on what direction we then go in the next lunar cycle.
Does a full moon, because you had there that it was, you know, really very positive thing. Well, we know that sort of Katie, our floor manager, I mean, she goes crackers at a full moon. I mean, she
it does affect your sleep.
Admitted it herself.
It does.
So does it affect? Does it affect? You know, a lot of people like that.
Yes, that's where the word lunacy comes from. It has its roots in lunar. So the two peak points of the lunar cycle emotionally are the dark moon, when the dark moon draws our emotions down and inwards, so there's no explaining. The full moon pulls all of our emotions to the surface, and so that's where again people are more likely to be very reactive, very quick. There's a lot more, maybe not use the word anger, but passion. There's a lot more. We tend to be a lot more reactive. And to touch on Holly's point of sleep, it's the waxing gibbous space, the few nights before the full moon, that many people don't sleep. And this is because it's the peaking of the lunar energy. And it's as though the moon is saying to us, listen, you set these intentions a few weeks ago. You've not got time to sleep. There's still too much to do. And so we get this like last big push of lunar energy to help us to get things done. So it's very common around that time for people not to sleep.
Okay, well, you've very kindly done our moon charts for us. So you're going to reveal what they have showed for us now.
I did. And what I had for you guys was what your moon sign was, because we're all probably very aware of our sun sign, that's the zodiac in the papers, but we all also have a moon sign. And whereas our sun sign is about our personality traits and us on the outside, our moon sign is about our internal world, our emotions, and what we need to feel nourished. And so, Philip, you are an Aquarius moon sign, which means that you need to always allow your creative, inventive energies to be nurtured. You always need to have something to be inspired by. So Aquarian means you're always seeking inspiration. You have a real humanitarian focus, so it's always important for you to be doing something that's of service. And as an Aquarius moon, you have this real ability to be able to connect with people and bring the best out in them, which I think is very
we're coming to the end of the show now, so we've only got about 20 seconds to do Holly's.
Holly, you're a Taurus moon, so that means that this is your moon. It means that you need to do a lot of nurturing, a lot of self-care under this moon. You have this incredible healing ability to make everyone around you feel really safe and nurtured and taken care of.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to have to stop you when I want to know more, but sadly we're at the end of the show, but I'm going to get the book and I'm going to learn all about it. Thank you so much. We will be back tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.